So I think I've delayed this long enough. I think it's finally time I do this deck profile of Arkhite. Let me just adjust my camera real quick. Yep, anyways, Arkhite deck profile. I've been trying to test like the numerous amounts of cards that you can actually use for Arkhite, and I think I've gotten to a common ground of like what cards are available to be used and what that you just should not use. And some that's like okay, you can use, and some that's like you just don't want to use because it's really just not fit for the budget. This deck is kind of like a budget deck. It's not super budget because you are reaching like the $80 mark, but if you count $80 as like cheap as a card game, then yeah, you can definitely say this is a budget deck. Anyways, without further ado, I think it will only be right to start off with the right line for Arkhite. Hold on, here. So, you have to play this Grade 0. You have to play Grade 0 Arkhite. I'm sorry for not remembering all the names of the Arkhite right line, but hopefully you can forgive me. Anyways, Grade 0 Arkhite. Grade 1, Grade 2, Grade 3. So basically this is, the right line here is basically the same as Ava, where you search for research every single time you write the 1 you write 2. As long as you have 0, 1 and a 2, you have to play the starter to activate Grade 1 skill, and you play Grade 1 to activate Grade 2 skill. So if you want to play the Ava right line, you have to completely change out the 4 cards for the Ava 4 cards. So yeah, anyways, I think I should go on to Arkhite first, and then I'll talk about the research from Arkhite. So anyways, here's the extra 3 more copies of Arkhite. I guess I'll set the cards somewhere else. But yeah, anyways, 4 copies of Arkhite, 1 in your right deck. So basically what Arkhite does is that when a kaiju or monster card is placed onto rearguard circle, you may choose costs. You may choose a card with the same name as that card from your order zone, put it to bot deck, and then that unit passes 10k. So basically, literally, if you're playing this right, all of your kaiju rearguards are going to plus 10k when you place them from hand. Obviously, when you have them on field, they're not going to plus 10k. So this deck really kind of wants you to constantly play cards down. And its second skill, and her second skill rather, is when this card attacks, you may cast 1, and then activate the following abilities. There's 2 abilities down here. So the first skill is if you have 3 research cards, research orders rather, in your order zone, you may choose 1 kaiju card, kaiju rearguard from your rearguard circle, and put it into order zone. And the second ability is look at top 7 of your deck, and you choose 1 kaiju rearguard, and you may call it to rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. So yeah, so basically this is a 4-tech deck that basically you will basically just, let's say you have Arkhite as a rearguard and Arkhite as a Vanguard, you swing with this first, and then you swing with this, you use the skill, the CB, and then you put this into order zone, and then you look at top 7 for Arkhite and you call it, and then you can activate her first skill, which is to bot deck the same name and plus 10k here. So yeah, that's how it works. I do want to say Arkhite, the Grade 3 Arkhite, has Kaiju in her name, so you can actually plus 10k to the Grade 3 Arkhite, whereas the right line actually does not have the Kaiju name. There's no Kaiju in the right line, or there's no monster in the right line. So Arkhite is the only one with Kaiju in its name, so keep in mind of that. So that's Arkhite herself. I will get back to her to just, to kind of demonstrate how the entire effect works in a little bit, but for now I think it's fair that I go through the Grade 1 research order of the deck that makes this deck really something not to mess with, at least, which is I'm not too sure what's the name. It's probably Torrent Energy Research or something weird like that. Anyways, you just see the kaiju, the Grade 3 kaiju that you will see later over here blasting some energy or some blast. Anyways, the skill is that when this order is set, you may look at the top 5, you may reveal actually the top 5 cards of your deck, and you choose 2 kaiju named cards, add 1 to hand and add 1 to your drop zone. And then it has a second skill, act on order zone. You may rest this card and you add 1 kaiju named card from your drop zone into order zone. So what does that mean? That means it sets up a kaiju from your drop to order zone, so you can actually use Arkhite's on-play skill, the rearguard on-play skill, on your main phase. So yeah, that's why you ideally want to mulligan for one of these if you don't play Tecton. If you play Tecton, then you kind of want to mulligan for Tecton and this card. You can mulligan for the other research order that I'm playing, but it's not as good as this because this is seriously what's making this deck really good. So basically you add 1 kaiju to hand, 1 kaiju to drop. The drop, so okay, so just to clear things up, whatever that you discard for right deck, or whatever that you guard with that, anything that goes to drop basically, can kind of, you can call it recycled back to deck. What that means is whatever that you actually put to drop will actually, if you call that same unit, it'll gain +10 through Arkhite skill. So what that means is that you kind of do want your stuff to go to drop in order to +10 to the rear guards that you'll be calling. So don't feel bad to discard away kaiju cards, because if you have more copies of them, they'll literally just come back stronger. In fact, Kaiju's effect, not Kaiju, Arkhite's effect literally looks at the top 7 just to search for that same card name card. So yeah. Anyways, the grade 3, the other Kaiju grade 3, this is the biggest beat stick, which is Gokatera, and he's a Kaiju. So what that means, is that you can actually search it with this. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, with this order you can search Persona Rights, by the way, which is very very funny because of grade 3 is a Kaiju. So yeah, this order is good because you can search a Persona Right, and you can also search a PG because a PG is a Kaiju. So just spoiler warning, we are playing Kaiju PGs. Anyways, this is a grade 3 Kaiju beat stick. So I think it's I'll just go to his first skill first, which is on place of Rearguard Circle, you may cast 1. And if I'm correct, it's literally just retire 1 card from your opponent's field. That should be it. If I got the skill wrong, it'll be on the screen. But yeah, basically this card just CB wants to retire a card from your opponent's field. And then its second skill is that on Rearguard Circle, if you have 3 or more research orders, it pluses 5k. So this is an 18 on its own. With Arkhite skill and you bought deck the same name, it's a 28 with no Persona Right, which is pretty strong, really really strong. And then with Persona Right, it's literally 38. It's stupid. And then if you have a Kaiju booster, this is going to be a plus another 18, which is dumb. It's actually dumb. So yeah, this is a really really good beat stick, and also has removal, so it's really good. It's really good. This might be actually one of your discard targets because sometimes you don't really want to play him on turn 3, but it's really good to beat. So yes, really good. In the other research order that I play is Jiking Seiko or something like that. It's like experiment successful, if I'm correct. That is the name, which is when you set this card, you draw 1 card and you discard 1 card from your hand, and then if you have 3 or more research orders, you may activate the second part of the skill, which is you Soul Blast 1 and you bind 1 of your opponent's cards. So I'm playing 3 of this because Ava dropped this card out of their deck. So what that means is that against Ava, you can actually start binding Obscudites really really good. But then again, if you're really gonna think about it, this order is just 10 times better than this in every way possible. But this card is a research. So what that means is that if you have like 1 that you search from right line, 2 that you search from right line, and 1 that you just mulligan for, you're instantly going to hit 3 research, 3 cards in order zones. So you can start activating its +5. You can start activating Arkhite's send 1 rearguard to order zone. You basically play this just to have more research orders, and also this bind skill is actually not that bad, but it costs a Soul Blast, and this deck kind of wants Soul Blast. So yeah, I know other people play Avangarda. I don't think that is wrong. You can play Avangarda, but I think you might as well just play other orders than play a card that CB wants to find an order, and it's not even kaiju. So yeah, 3 experiments successful. And then we have another kaiju. I'm moving on to grade 2s. I'm not too sure what's its name. I think it's Cycloguard, something like that. Anyways, its skill is that when it's placed on Vanguard circle, you may choose 1 kaiju from your drop zone and add it into order zone. This is not meta so much, but it sometimes comes up because you kind of just sometimes want, you don't have enough of torrent energy research in your order zone, so you need to somehow get kaijus from drop to order zone. With him, you can do that. And the second skill is where it really comes on really big, which is on Guardian Circle, if you have 2 or more research orders in your order zone, plus this 5k shield. This is crazy because having a 10k shield is really good in this deck, because this deck doesn't really have a lot of good defense. And so playing him down really does help with defense. Also, the really nice thing about him is that you can literally just turn 2 rush with him, and then intercept, because on turn 2 you will have 2 research orders. Intercept for 10, this dies, and then if you have an extra copy in your hand, or you search from Arkhite's top 7 skill, you literally call it and then you bot deck this because it goes to drop. And then it pluses 10k, so yeah, very nice. This card's really, really nice. Honestly thought this card sucked when I was testing with Arkhite. Used to, before I owned the deck at least. And yeah, I have differing opinions about him now. I really like this guy. This guy's really, really good. Yep, that's all for grade 2s, unfortunately. But because we play a lot of orders. I mean, you play 7 orders. It's not a lot, but it's good. It's a lot already, considering that. And then you also play a grade 3. You can't really afford to play so much attackers. But don't worry, this next card can be an attacker as well, which is 4 Baby Rose, which is I think my favorite card in the entire set, or in Vanguard in general, because he looks so good. Like, look at this. He actually looks so good. I can't really show you. Oh, also look at the foiling. It's so good. Look at the foiling. Japanese foiling. Anyways, Baby Rose is really, really good. It's like Brangate, not Brangate, it's just Ava and Arkhite's own GG, except you don't really have a lot of soul charging pieces, which is kind of sad. But anyways, its skill is that when you play someone in Vanguard circle, if your Vanguard is an Ava or Arkhite, you may soul blast 2 and you draw 1, which is pretty good. You can place this on turn 2. Yeah, you can place it on turn 2. Yeah, and then his second skill is that Vanguard circle, you have 3 or more research orders plus 5k. So what this means is that he's a 13k beater on his own, unboosted, and then if you use Arkhite skill to bot deck the same copy, it's a 23. If it gets boosted, it's like 31, right? 31? Yeah, 31. If the booster is a kaiju, then yeah, it's 41. And then if you boost this, it's gonna be 44, I think. Yeah, this is pretty big, yes. But you can either use him as a booster. Usually I use it as a Vanguard booster instead of a Vanguard booster. Or you can just use him as a straight out attacker. Yeah, so it's really, really good. Also, he allows you to actually draw cards. It actually makes this deck like defensively okay. If it weren't for his draw 1, this deck just would suck balls because you can't actually draw into anything if it isn't for this guy. So yeah, play for him. He's too good. He's too good. And then this is a flex spot basically. You can play anything here, but I chose to play Secondel. Now why do I choose to play Secondel? Secondel is a kaiju, of course. Oh yeah, did I tell you guys that he's a kaiju? I think I did. Yeah, he's a kaiju. Anyways, Secondel skill is that on place on Vanguard circle, you may put back like 1 card from your drop zone to bot deck, and then if you put back a grade 3, you may soul blast 3 and draw 1. So yeah, his second part of the skill is like a super heavy cost version of Baby Rose, so never ever use this second part of the skill. But I mainly play him because you can just call him down, bot deck the same copy plus 10, and then you also get to bot deck another card in your drop zone. So you can bot deck stuff like PGs, you can bot deck stuff like your Persona rights, because you actually shuffle your deck when you attack with Arkhite. That's why it actually does work. Like, you basically shuffle your deck and you might drive check into the card that you bot decked, or draw into the card that you bot decked to Baby Rose. So yeah, that's why I play him. But I don't want to play too much copies of him because there's really no point, because you're really going to use his on-play skill once. Other than that, I literally just use him just to boost as an 18k booster, or when you don't have anything, it's just 8k booster. It's still good enough. You can instead of play him, you can play the other kaiju that pluses 2k when it boosts. So what that means is that when it boosts Wavy Rose, it will go to 23, like with no Arkhite skill of 23. That's crazy. And then with of course Gogatera, it's going to be 28 without any Arkhite skill. With Arkhite skill, yeah, good luck, it's 48. So yeah, that's kind of scary. You can play that, but I kind of want to I've been really enjoying playing Secondel. And then there's like one more slot, which I played this guy. I used to play like one Bobal Mine in this slot, and I thought that was a good idea because you're basically only going to use Bobal Mine once if you're playing Bobal Mine. If you play Bobal Mine in this slot, like this 4th slot, you're only going to use him once or twice only. So I thought just playing the one Bobal Mine that you can search with the order is like good enough. But I don't have him with me right now, so I will proxy that Bobal Mine with this guy. But he still works for me, honestly. He still works wonders for me. But basically, Bobal Mine, when it after the boosted attacked, you send him to Soul and you CC 1. So not only does he CC for you, but he also goes to Soul, which is the go to Soul that is actually really, really good. But the reason why you actually don't want to play Bobal Mine is because he disappears from Soul. No, he disappears from your field, and that's not really good for Arkhite. That's why I only played one copy of him. I don't know where he went, or rather, I gave it to my friend. Yeah, I gave it to my friend. Yeah, I gave it to my friend. So, yes, I have to work with this guy now. He's not that bad either. I forgot what his name is. Something Recharger. Basically, what he does is that if the booster attack hits, you can soul charge 1 from your deck. So the soul charge 1 is very, very iffy. I know, but he's kind of like that mosquito guy. That's a kaiju. I mean, oh yeah, also you can play that mosquito guy here, but you don't really need CC in your deck unless you play, I don't know, cards that really CB a lot. But if you don't like just continuously blast it through Gogatera, this deck doesn't need any counter charges. This deck actually does not need any counter charges, which is kind of cool. Or not, you can just use this copy, use this slot for the 10k booster. But if you're gonna play the 10k booster, I'd rather you just play like a 2-2 split, so you can actually like somewhat activate the plus 10k skill from Arkhite. So yeah. Next for the PGs, it's a Kaiju PG. I'm not playing Elementaria Sanctitude because I think it's like kind of unnecessary. In fact, I think for this deck, if you really want to play a one-off PG, I think it would be good if you play the what do you call it? The effect PG, the one where if you have one card, you don't need to discard. I think playing that as a one-off is actually better than playing Sanctaria. I might be wrong. It just might be like what I've been testing with that's been wrong, but I think playing Sanctaria is like not so necessary for this deck, because this deck has basically you reach a peak hand size on your turn 4 or turn 3, and then like after that your hand will just deplete like crazy, because obviously you're gonna have to constantly call with Arkhite skill. So yeah. Anyways, this Kaiju PG can double up as a booster, as an attacker, or just a PG. But the bad thing about this is that when you're playing long, when your hand gets really small, you actually have to discard your PG, which sucks. It actually kind of sucks. So yeah, but other than that, you can search the PG through the order, which is kind of really good. But in my opinion, I honestly won't really want to fetch out PG through the order, because I'd rather fetch out Persona Rights and like your actual key pieces to like make a board. Also, in my opinion, Persona Right is very, very important in this deck. Or not, you cannot kill your opponent because your numbers are just not gonna reach enough. So you need to really do a Persona Right and then on top of the Arkhite skill to plus another 10k. So yeah. Anyways, all the triggers. You might be seeing that some of my triggers are different sleeves because I'm trying out these same triggers in Avangarda. So yeah. Anyways, Stargate over trigger because it's busted, and 4 crits. You can play the effect crits obviously just to make them go to soul, but you don't. If you're playing a budget deck, you actually don't need those because you're never ever really going to like commit down a 15k just to get a soul. Unless you really want to, then okay, sure. Anyway, and then 3 draws. This one I do recommend you get the effect draws because it really doesn't hurt. And then 4 heals. So yeah, and also I don't think there's any point playing counter heals right now. So just normal heals. So yep, that's the deck. So yeah, pretty okay grade 3 turn. Will kind of be like okay, I hope you guys can see this zone. So this is the order zone. You have your kaijus here, and you have the order here. So you stand and you draw. And let's say you just discard and you write, right? Like you discard this and you write Arkhite. Let's just have some damage here. Yeah. And then you'll go set your third research order and you refill top 5. And we'll add this to hand, and we'll add this, this to drop. Yeah, we'll add this to drop. This to drop. And we'll shuffle this. And then you can use the order skill to rest like, okay, rest all 3. Rest all 3. Actually no, maybe not rest all 3. Should we rest all 3? Okay, we won't. We'll rest 2. We'll add these 2 into deck, into order zone. And then you call, use Arkhite skill to board deck this, same copy. And then you can call Gogatera, board deck plus 10k. Gogatera skill, CG1, you can retire. Oh no. Okay. And then you can call Baby Rose skills, so last 2. And you draw 1. And then you can, you can also play Secondary, but I don't know why you would ever play Secondary. Also, yeah, wait, no. You have to activate Arkhite skill first to board deck. And then you can play Secondary, and then you can like board deck like your Gogatera from drop. But I prefer not to do that, but to do this. So that if this hits, that means you can actually activate another Wabios if you have managed to find another Wabios. So you can swing here first, and if it hits, you can switch charge 1. Nice. Anyways, swing, you CV1, and you push him into order zone. You look at top 7. Never mind, we do find the Wabios anyways. If it really comes worst to worst, and you don't have like the same copy to plus 10k, you can just Wabios just to draw more cards. You can use Wabios skills so as to draw 1. And then you do your drive check, you do 1, 2, nothing. You swing here for 13, or if you hopefully have another Wabios in your order zone, 23. And then you swing here, this will be 20 and a 23, so it's like 43, I think. Wait, did I do this right? I think it is 43, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like how a turn will work in Arkhite. This is not like the best demonstration of what a turn 3 turn will look. But if you persona right, yeah, this will be very, very painful because everything else will be like plus 10k, which is kind of deadly. Not kind of, very deadly. The only real issue with this deck is that you don't have a lot of crit pressure, and so yeah, if Busher decides to give kaijus with crits, yeah, this deck will definitely be good. It will definitely be good. So yeah, I hope you guys learned a thing or two, or if you intend on building Arkhite, hopefully this deck has secured your decision on getting this deck. And so yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.